Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. All right, so let the games begin. The bloodletting is beginning. Teams are going to start jettisoning players and contracts. We know yesterday that the NFL said that the salary cap will be at a minimum of $180 million. So it's not as bad as they thought. That means that there's room to move. We just don't know how much it's going to move. I bet you it goes around 185, 187. But, what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. So I've been saying all along, because so many people are in cap hell, teams have too much salary on their books with this year of not having an increase, in fact, of having deflation. They're going to be good players out there. And the other side of it is, all those good players out there, there's not a lot of money out there to pay guys. So the Carolina Panthers just released a safety, Tre Boston, 7-year vet, 429 tackles in his career, 3 sacks, and 15 interceptions. So that's an average of a little bit more than 2 interceptions a year. Last year, he had, I want to say, about 95 tackles. 95 tackles, I think 1 sack, and maybe 1 interception. Clearly, a guy who is a lot better than what we've had with Xavier Woods, and one of those type of guys that you may want to take a look at. His salary for this year with the Carolina Panthers was $5.3 million, which in the grand scheme of things is not a lot. Now, here's our problem. Our problem is this. The Dallas Cowboys do not believe in 2 positions, to me, that are completely critical. You can tell by what they do in free agency and what they do in the draft. And that is, they draft safeties in the 6th round. In 2001, they drafted Roy Williams in the 1st round. Since that time, the 3 safeties over the course of the last 20 years that they've drafted are all 6th round picks. The safety we signed last year, Daryl Worley and Clinton Ha-Ha Dix. Clinton Ha-Ha Dix didn't make it out of training camp. Daryl Worley, we ended up cutting during the season. And clearly, when you saw the Dallas Cowboys defense bad enough that they don't stop the run, the safety is the last line of defense. The safety is the guy that keeps that play from being keeps it from being a touchdown to maybe a 15-yarder, to give you another chance to try and stop it. But the Cowboys don't believe in that position. And you have to look back in the history of the Cowboys. When you look at those Super Bowl teams, we always had great safeties. Be it Darren Woodson, who should be in the Hall of Fame, to Charlie Waters, we had great safety plays. And with this defense, with Dan Quinn as the head coach, you need a ball-hawking, lights-out safety to make this thing really work to perfection. Now, I don't know if the Cowboys will get out of the norms, but if you ask me, the definition of insanity is, well, being a Cowboy fan for one, but doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. We continue to over and over overlook the safety and the defensive tackle position. And with that, we never have a dominating defense. Well, Tre Boston, he's not Justin Simmons. If it was up to me, I'd be going for Justin Simmons, okay? But you're talking about Justin Simmons probably being a $14 million player, which we know the Cowboys won't look at that, although it might be a little lower than that because of this salary cap Armageddon that we're going through. But I would take Tre Boston in a heartbeat, because that is far and away better than what you've ever had with Clinton Ha-Ha Dix. Still, it's not the best, But at this point, with the Dallas Cowboys, looking at somebody like this, that's the kind of money that you're talking about that we spent for guys like Dontari Poe. And again, a guy coming off of 95 tackles, and definitely a spot where you look at him versus Xavier Woods. Right there, your defense got a little bit better. They got don't get me wrong, they got a long mother humping way to go. A long way to go. But that is a start in the right direction. So, again, I'm not saying every guy that comes free in free agency or gets cut is somebody we need to sign, because there's going to be a lot of guys out there that you want to look at, and you want to make the best decision money-wise, ability-wise, and fitting your scheme-wise, and looking at the places of biggest need. You need still, to me, you've got a couple of really good defensive tackles, young guys, and Gallimore and Tristan Hill, and maybe even Antoine Woods. But you need that one 800-pound gorilla, that beast that literally gets quarterbacks pissing down their legs in the middle to go in that rotation. That guy that means some bitch to go with a great safety, or at least competent safeties. And you may want to look at a Tre Boston. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You should look at a Tre Boston. You should look at a Justin Simmons. And hell, look in the draft, because safeties, you don't have to go in the first round for a great safety. We had guys like Warren Thornhill there after Tristan Hill. But regardless of how you do it, you must do it. You must look at safeties on this team. I'm just hoping that Jerry Jones said to us, as the GM, I must change. I will change. I have to change. Well, show me you're going to change, because, brother, I need me a defense. I need me a defense that's going to help with that offense. I'm tired of hearing Eagle fans talking about, you never saw a Super Bowl in high def, blah, 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 blah. Jerry, time's getting short. The life expectancy went down in the United States because of COVID and other instances. For people of color, by 3 years. 3 years. People of non-color, only 1. Just pointing that out. We got less time to work with. Get her done. All right. See you guys.